folks, how's it going? Come to you on a unusually warm but still beautiful Michigan September day. I have the day off, so I decided to do a video a little bit different, a little on location. So one of the things that I've been doing for probably about 7 years to make extra income is Scrabble. You can make a couple hundred extra bucks a week in addition to your regular job. If you are willing to put in the work, you get a little bit of luck, and you can make a good little bit of side money, and you find some cool shit, signs, all kind of bullshit. Pick this set of tables and chairs. It was all an older set, rusted white paint with rust spots. Cleaned it up, painted that two-tone. I got to get some cushions. Took some modeling paint, painted the flowers on it. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at, like, you know, it's a couple $100 set. I'm gonna keep it, but you know, this is the kind of thing that people throw away all the time. I get infinite fire pits. Just use them until they're done. All kind of stuff. Lawnmower. This one's seized up, but most of them you find that there's not much wrong with them, and you can sell them or keep them or use them until they break for good or something like that. But the reason that I wanted to make this video was just, first of all, because I was bored. I don't know what to do when I'm not working. But I had a couple of pieces that I thought was interesting to kind of like show off some of the things I've noticed about, I guess, the downfall of the world from my experience with scrap metal. So I got a couple of pieces here. First one, we'll start with the big piece. This is your basic cheap-ass stove. Though it is gas, thankfully I fucking hate electric stoves. Magic Chef brand, some off-brand thing, probably sold in a low-scale store or something. The color, you know, I mean, I'd say, judging by this material here, it's kind of like got that texture on it. This stove's probably like 18 years old, you know, 20 years old, 25. It's no earlier than the 90s. What you'll notice about this stove is you got your push button controls here on your little back panel. This thing got a little bit busted up coming out of the truck, but as long as you don't break the glass, don't matter. This is a particularly cheap stove on account of the fact that the panel that holds the control module, whatever you want to call it, is made of steel instead of aluminum. Most dryers and stoves and things like this will have at least an aluminum thing. I guess it's more common in dryers and washers because they're expected to be around a lot of water, but your nicer stoves will tend to have some kind of aluminum. So this is kind of a good example of what you would expect to get today for a couple $100 brand new. I mean, it's white, so it's bare bones. Some of the newer shit tends to be black. You can kind of tell the age of an appliance by the color of it and the material. You know, obviously, if you get a microwave that has the fake, like the metal that's printed like wood, but it's not really wood, that's pretty old. If you get a really old electronic, it actually have wood. You know, but so that's a good example of that. This I kept because I want to do something with it, put it into something, maybe attach a light to it and make it function. This is from, I believe, some Sears branded dryer. It's probably it's got to be at least 40 years old. Now, to most people, this is like not interesting, but I find it fascinating, and there's a lot of things that you can see just where we've gone in terms of at least the quality of the materials that we fucking manufacture. This is one solid piece of cast aluminum. I'd say that it weighs about like 7 pounds or something like that. The writing is actually raised out of the cast. I assume this like chrome material is like painted. I can't find a seam like where it's attached to it. It appears to be all one piece. It's got a mechanical feel to the button because it is a mechanical button. You have a dial that moves quite satisfactorily. This one makes a little bit of a squeak, but we'll do something about that. And then it's got this really cool, I mean, it just, look at the way it's constructed. Look at the feel of it. You get a real nice click out of it. It's got this plastic shit, but it's painted. And even you'll notice that the writing, it's not a sticker. It's actually like painted on there or printed on there. This is actually printed on the underside of this plastic so as to protect it. The writing is printed from the bottom like up. You can see on the back it's all one solid piece of cast. They machined a couple pieces here. What's also fascinating detail, like you got to look for this kind of shit just to see the difference in overall quality and the intention of things. You'll notice that there's part numbers printed on the fucking, it's etched right into the aluminum. It's etched into this resistor thing, whatever this is. This is not a sticker, this is printed. Everything has these little locking nuts that can be easily removed. It's all meant to be replaced and fixed. You know, it's like this is an artifact. It doesn't seem like it, but this is an artifact. There's never going to be a dryer control module better than this. It's as good as it gets. And you compare that now, albeit this is not a dryer, but this is the level of quality that you're getting from things. You're getting this shit and look at it. You can even see. Now this is a cheap dryer, but I don't think that other thing was very expensive either. You just take the goddamn, take a couple of these off. Fucking stupid thing. It's hard to do this with a phone in your hand. I don't have a fucking camcorder anymore. I don't even know if they sell camcorders. They sell GoPros. I don't know if they sell camcorders. One more here. I guess this is also a brief tutorial on how to scrap a fucking stove. So we'll see here that the module just fell right out. Cheap plastic shit. It's all gross. Plastic back stickers made in China. Transistors and all this shit. But these two appliances were probably cost about the equivalent of each other when they were made. You can see just the level of quality here. I mean, whatever, call me a fucking weirdo. I think that's a beautiful thing. It's just so well made. There's a certain beauty to a well-made item. And I notice this all the time when I'm dealing with scrap metal, or I'm looking through a lot of old people's things. And here, my garage is, I swear it's kind of organized. It's full of stuff. But, you find old people that cared. So this thing I got from this guy's house. This guy, here's some of the cooler, older tools that I found in there. Just some older pieces, American-made pieces. And the thing about this guy, I don't know if I can focus enough to see it. He actually went in and etched, there it is, etched his signature into every item that he owned. All except for these locks that I found that I kept and put on display. But, I mean, it's all good shit. They don't make shit like that anymore. These little mechanical drills are cool. This one's not that old, but they're still cool. You know, they don't make them like that anymore. Just the high quality of the forging. It's American-made tools. It's not Chinese tools. You know, you can actually trust that the fucking quality of steel that they advertise is actually the quality of steel that it is. You know. But I don't know. I don't know if this would be interesting to anybody, but it's just one of those things that I notice it all the time. Find all these little cool little things. These are like pewter handles from something. This fan came off of a furnace, but I've never seen a transformer with a fan like this, with a little cage on it. I thought that was cool. I'm gonna plug that shit in and make a little fan on it. Well, here's an example of what's wrong with everything. This is a Dyson ball vacuum. You can see it's got some kind of piece broken off here. But, you know, brand new, you're talking about a $400 or $500 vacuum, whatever they are, several hundreds of dollars for these Dysons. You can see it makes a little bit of a weird noise, but the reason it don't work, Jesus Christ. The reason it doesn't work, if you look, the bristles don't spin. Why don't the bristles spin? Well, unlike all the vacuums how they used to be, where they had a fucking belt that you could replace that went directly from the same motor that drove the suction, also drove the belt. They no longer have that. They don't have that on the Dysons. There's two little motors inside of it. And I went down and asked the people at the vacuum place, and they're like, no, man, that's why they throw these away, because it costs a couple $100 to get the parts and put them on, and why bother? So it's like, you think you're buying something that's of high quality, but in a way, you're really buying something that's garbage. I mean, somebody threw this out. Look at it. It's not that beat up. Look at the ball. I mean, I rolled it around out here. That's part of why it's dirty. It's clean for the most part. It's not all fucked up. I mean, they probably didn't have this for very long, a year or two, and they paid hundreds of dollars for it, and it's gone. You know what I mean? If you had a vacuum that was made 40 years ago, you could go and get the belt for it. You could get whatever you needed for it, and it wouldn't cost you as much as it would cost to buy a new fucking vacuum. So, you know, I don't know. That's just one of the things that I've noticed about the world via scrap. So I'll talk to you folks later. I'm gonna make something out of my dryer module. Have fun.